Honestly, I have to start this off by saying Apple may be the root of all evil. Because honestly, like, Apple, like, after pretty much acquiring all, what we could say, pretty much acquiring all, like, the benefits of, like, an Android phone where you're talking about customization, Apple to me have now made an amalgamation of all things that are seemingly perfect underneath the sun. Because right now, an iPhone to me, coming from an Android, it has to be the most like greatest on it. Like, come on, right now, right now on iOS 14, coming from an Android, it's when you're talking about seamless simplicity mixed with customization that doesn't necessarily take up all your time and all your brain power, which considering I'm a nerd, I do like, but sometimes you can fall in a loop of consistently always trying to like improve upon your customization rather than having a phone as a utility to keep in contact with the world pretty much, right? And Apple right now is just doing it better, and it's not fair because Android once again created pretty much everything you see on an Apple phone, right? Like when we're talking about, I think Android phone may have created Face ID, um picture in picture mode. Um I think a lot of the gestures on an iPhone as well may have been some sort of derivative off of some Android phone, specifically maybe like a Pixel or like some Samsung phone, right? But like like I have to say, like, I'm enjoying my time on an Android phone coming from a Note, which is pretty much like, I love big phones, like, because I I I I would say my hand sort of fits a bigger phone. Like, I just and plus it's a little bit easier on my eyes because I can then zoom a lot of the content on the screen, like the icons and specifically the texts and like, the messenger. Just overall, I think it may compromise your pocket, like, especially if you're wearing, like, sort of like slim fitted clothes or like slim fitted pants. Obviously, you're gonna have a big bulk, like, sort of like throwing your wardrobe off, which is, it's a compromise that I'm willing to accept. But I like, when it comes to like the icons being, like, the icons, like, usually crowding up the screen of Android phones now with the apps library, which Apple likely finessed, and they will never admit it, and all Apple fanboys, and I can sometimes be, will never admit, like, Apple pretty much let competitors try out everything and innovate, then they come in and pretty much take up all of that, and then the casual consumer think Apple created it. This has to stop. Once again, this is not a bash on Apple. Like, I love Apple because like, they know how to put everything together seamlessly for the average consumer that have enough depth but not too much where a person can get themselves in a lot of problems. And like, because their operating system is closed, you can't get third party apps or like third party like anything. So it does lead to a lot of better security, or just a feeling that you are more secure. Because, like, on my Android phone, like, I would never like allow my apps to, like, save my passwords because I don't know, I kind of felt sort of like open, which is, I don't know if I was or I wasn't, but because it's slightly more open sourced, maybe there are more, I don't know, malwares out there that may take over my phone and take all my information. But on Apple phone, I feel a little bit more comfortable using my Face ID to unlock my bank account, to pretty much like pretty much everything, like the Apple Pays, very much considering that I have my PayPal on here. Like it's not fair that I have that maybe seemingly a misconception about Android being an open source automatically in my head means that it's more likely to be hacked is probably not fair, but it is how I think. The grid layout is like, although the layout is simplistic, I think I may like the kind of curved off squares of the icons. On Android, you can make your icons literally into anything, right? As long as it's out there, or you may be able to even make your own icon packs. But right now in my life, honestly, the simplicity, and obviously you heard me repeat that multiple times. It is the simplicity of an Android phone in my life right now that make me view the phone strictly as a utility to connect to the world. And I want that now. Doesn't mean I'll want that later, but the way Apple is going right now, they may eventually, adapt every single thing from an Android. But I am enjoying my experience. The call quality, I think these iPhones they don't have the best telecom communication chips that the previous phones had, because these ones, the call quality, like even on my old Note that I had, like the call quality to me on the old Notes were a lot better, and the speaker that goes to your ear seemingly was a bit louder on my old Note than it is on the iPhone I have now. I assume it's because of the little mesh that goes over the earphone speaker, that when you put the phone up to your ears, that allows the iPhone to be pretty much waterproof up to, I think, a meter, they said, for a short while. That may hinder my ability to like hear people clearly, especially in a noisy background. You're pretty much doomed when it comes to an iPhone. But the camera, of course, the camera on iPhones, come on. That is arguably the main reason why anybody gets an iPhone, like especially when it comes to like the our modern day quote unquote influencers or whatever. This is all they care about, the camera, and it is very good. I do love it. It's definitely a lot better than the old Note I had, which isn't necessarily fair to compare it to, but still, I can tell that fundamentally, even to the newer Notes, that iPhone on average will always be better. The apps, they work better on an iPhone. Maybe not the YouTube app, which I spend my entire life on. The YouTube app is, I feel like they're the same, but I don't feel like they're the same at the same time. Like I feel like there's a bit of like I can't put my finger on it, but because I feel like I'm missing a feature that was on the Android that is not currently on the iPhone when it comes to the YouTube app. But still, it's very doable, and I love it. Let's get to it. Also what an iPhone is beloved for. It's the camera and iMessage. iMessage, 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 iMessage. iMessage is hands down. People say WhatsApp, but iMessage, hands down, is the prob like the app store, the quote that says there's an app for that. The app store is true, but the iMessage, because that's the three things that make an iPhone, right? The camera, iMessage, and there's an app for that, which means the Apple Store, the Apple App Store has probably hundreds of thousands or millions of apps that you can probably find an app for almost anything you can put your mind to. You know, within the terms of service. iMessage, the integration with GIFs, emojis, like linking of stuff, the connections with the Apple Pay, whereby you can send people money like immediate, like oh boy, like Android is amazing, but the integration of a lot of things on the app on the Android on the iPhone, it's A1. And I know they may have stolen a lot of the features from Android phones and Google phones in general. I would say Siri does not compare to the Google guy. I forgot his name. Is it Alfred? No, I think Alfred is a Mac OS thing. But yeah, Siri is not comparable to the Google assistant. It's not. Don't leave it in the comments. It's not. Siri does not compare to Google Assistant. It just doesn't. Google has the information of the entire world in it, and of course, Apple just can't compare, right? Google literally prides itself on trying to connect everything, being a quote unquote world's greatest search engine. Apple is not that, and it's not fair to compare them to, and it's not fair for anybody to ever say that Google Assistant is not above Siri. But overall, I love the feel of the phone. I love the texture of the screen itself on your finger. It just feels, I don't know, it feels better than the Note I had. I don't know why. I can't tell why, but the feel of the actual screen itself, the touch screen, is just different. And I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if it's smoother or it's more like, it's weird. It's weird, and I love it. Yeah. It's pretty much it. I'm sort of rambling. Because I'm sort of freestyling right now. Yeah, like, it's the three things that that's top notch on iPhone, which is App Store, which, Android may technically have more because of their open source. You can literally get an app from like any random place. That's not the actual Google Play Store. But the App Store mixed with the camera and the iMessage is legendary. And now on iOS 14's customization, it's a perfect mix for anybody entering into the smartphone market and wanting to get the best user-friendly phone right now. To me, sorry. Thank you so much for watching.